When you look at clubs of the richest history in England, Manchester United and your former club Liverpool rank right at the top. So it seems there's an expectation on how these two clubs are expected to play. Is that unfair in the modern world with the competition from Manchester City, from Chelsea, from Spurs, from Arsenal, to be playing a certain way and still expect trophies? Now, I know City have just done it, but is it unfair, Mourinho?
Well, I think the Manchester United history, albeit 20 years, more successful than Liverpool's, of course, over the same time period, if you like. They should look at what Liverpool did, because Liverpool were out-and-out best team in Europe, if not the world. The Premier League era starts and they haven't won it since. So, Manchester United are going through a phase now. Finishing second isn't good enough because recent history would suggest that they are the best team in the Premier League. But the game itself has evolved. And what you have is, you're looking at Manchester City, you've got I don't like the term young coach, but you've got a coach who's got a different philosophy. I know when Swansea were playing the Arsenal-style football in lower leagues and they got themselves up to the Premier League. Tiki-taka, yeah. Well, people attribute that kind of football to certain teams, where in fact most teams, and if not all teams in the Premier League now, are capable of passing the ball around. The possession game is not something which guarantees points. Quite often, and very often, you see the team with the highest possession actually losing the match. So you need something else, but you also need the quality in the individual players, as I say. And
but when you were at Liverpool, was there expectations from the fans, from the media, to play a certain way as well? And did you think it was silly?
No, of course. There was a massive expectation because Liverpool had won the old Division One so many times, and there were world-known players in the Liverpool side in an era where we didn't have social media and live football was a scarcity, especially at a domestic level. But the game changed. I mean, interesting. I was watching an interview with Steve McManaman yesterday. Yeah, and he was phenomenal, and this is one of the sad things that you get for the Liverpool side I was in for 7 years. Steve McManaman was part of that. We won one League Cup and got to an FA Cup final. That was it, a European semi-final. But Maka goes off to Real Madrid, wins 2 Champions Leagues, and it just proved what a great player he was. And arguably then he goes down to the management. Our management staff weren't capable of getting the best out of Steve McManaman or getting the best out of a team with a quality group of players. This might be aimed at Manchester United now and Jose Mourinho and his style. The only way of proving whether that's the right answer or right argument is by bringing someone else in.
So just to summarise, you're saying United should just play the way Jose wants them to play. He's had success in the past, and he should bring more success.
No, I think the argument about the individual players being too old is
but that's
wrong.
One story, yes.
Is wrong. I don't think Manchester United are good enough to win the Premier League, and with Manchester City being so dominant this year, they're going to have to play so much worse, and Manchester United so much better if they think they're going to overtake that gap. So
because
arguably,
of the golf.
Yeah, I mean, but it comes to the same problems. If you look at the best goal scorers in the world, there's not many of them. And one is generally better, very much better than the other, like best goalkeepers arguably as well. So, you replace Jose Mourinho with who? What style of play? And if it's just about styles of play, then get Roberto Martinez in there and he'll give you a style of play, but that won't guarantee you wins. Yeah. Pep Guardiola is an extremely unique man. 3 championships in 3 different leagues, and he's won each of them at a canter. The guy's good, very good.